All right, welcome to the show, everybody.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the platform, episode 93. Every time I say the episode number, it's like pressure, because you get to that 100th episode, and it's like it's either got to be everything or it'll be shitty. Yeah, and it's like I don't want to. I'm in that box, but I'm feeling that pressure. I'm still trying to come up with something for the 100th episode. So hopefully,
what episode we're at now?
We're at 93, man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna plan something out.
Yeah. We gotta plan something out. Okay, we got a few weeks. We got a few weeks to plan something out, but we will plan something out. But what's up? We are here to talk gaming. We do have a special guest. I should say big industry guest, but some people are humbled, so they may not want to see. Here we go. But we have Joel Tavares from Dualshockers, co-founder, one of the co-founders of Dualshockers. He is blessing us with his presence today. I want to go ahead and start out with his intro. Have him introduce himself, tell him what he's currently playing and what he has going on right now. So, Joel, what's up, man? Introduce yourself.
What's going on?
My name is Joe. It's
just thank you. I wish I came into like Brock Lesnar music. That's more kind of like.
that would be cool.
And Mike just comes out like Paul Heyman. Just, like walking across the stage, but
you should have done that, bro.
But as mentioned, there you go. I'm from Dualshockers. We made 9 years. July. It was kind of crazy. Time flies. I'm really happy to be on the show today. The timing was perfect. I got the wife is out of the house. One kid sleeping, one kid playing games. Mike messaged me. I was like, "Yes, let's do this now. There's no better time than right now."
But here's the thing: I need to take this life away from Mike. You know what I'm saying? Let's take that away from Mike. I'm not going to elaborate on it, but he knows why. Because he always laughs all the time. Me and Terry. He's like, "Yo, I got a big guest." I'm like, it's like 1 minute before we go live. It's about to be the bomb, and then it ends up being the bomb, and we like. Fuck. That's
funny. Well, no, thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me jump on here and talk games.
Here. Yeah. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm going to pick your brain, and I'm going to get kind of personal, too.
Good. Let's do
it. if you get squeamish, just the safe word is stop.
Okay.
No banana.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, glad to have you on, man. We're going to talk a lot of games today. Next up, we got Platinum Godfather. What's up, man?
What's really good, y'all? How you doing?
What's up, man?
What's happening?
What you playing?
Shit. Cross between playing For Honor, trying to get the achievements, and then we're just trying to grind that shit. I'm at 75% of that. And also, we just got an announcement date for Devil May Cry 5. And I'm dead. And I can't wait for that. So we got a lot of work to do. So we got to finish Devil May Cry 4, finish Devil May Cry 2, and Devil May Cry 3 before March 8th, 2019.
What's your favorite Devil May Cry so far?
Oh, shit. The first one was a classic because it was originally made to be a Resident Evil game. Like Resident Evil game, obviously, because it's by Capcom. So, I mean, with that being said, like, before they had trophies in it, like, I was just accustomed to it, so and then they start to evolve, creating sequels, prequels, and things like that. So you can't get rid of your first love.
I love the first one. I think my favorites out of the series is a tie between 3 and 4. I love 3 and 4. Those are my favorites hands down so far. The DMC reboot was opened my eyes to some things that Dante should be able to do. So DMC reboot was good too. So those are my favorites out of the 3. So I don't know if that's something you support, but those are the ones I like. Next up, we got Cool Cat Terry. What's up, Terry? Introduce yourself and tell us what you're playing.
Hey everybody, it's Cool Cats Harry. Pretty much just been working on some more Elder Scrolls Online, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and World of Warplanes. That's pretty much what I've been working on. But oh my gosh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is so damn good. I can say.
I don't know. I think Shadow kind of got a mixed reactions. I mean, like it was no. I mean, I think for the most part, it was people are like loving it, but I don't know. There were some people that thought it could be better, or there's some things that kind of were drawn out in the game.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Okay. All right. Big Mike, where your camera? We're gonna
let me turn my camera on.
Yep. Okay. All right.
This guy's not gonna make it past the intro, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So next up, we got Big Mike. What's up, man? Introduce yourself and tell everybody what you're playing.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Mike here. I am the advocate of Dualshockers and the voice of the voiceless. I'm playing Destiny 2 a lot. I've been playing Destiny 2 a lot and Spider-Man, and I've been working on some Overwatch.
Okay. All right. Overwatch. So you got back into it. You started getting back into the Oh, you might be a party of one.
Actually, I play with like 3 or 4 people daily on Overwatch lately.
I fell off of that. I used to love Overwatch, and I just fell off. I don't know. It was just I felt like I wasn't progressing. It was just like I played. I'm like,
because there is no progression in that game.
Okay. I just felt like there's just the progression is so stagnant. So I just kind of fell off.
For fun.
That's not to say anything bad about the game. I mean, I actually like Overwatch. Just fell off of that shit. What's up, everybody? My name is Danny. I'm the host here at the platform, and I have been playing. Well, I haven't been playing much, honestly, because I had a horrible situation with my fam, my dog. God rest his soul in heaven. Smokey, I love you, miss you.
Okay.
So shouts out to my little buddy. But yeah, I think I've been playing a little bit on my phone. I did play, and they say gamers don't play on their phone, but they fucking do. I've been playing Phantom Gate, this game called Legend of Dynasty, and Phoenix 2, which is kind of like a bullet hell shooter. So I've been playing those because I've just been kind of fiddling to myself, but I haven't played much actual gaming because of that. But I plan on kind of getting back into it tonight. So I think tonight there's a game that Big Mike hooked me up with. So I'm going to test that out tonight. It's called, it's like Galactic something. Or rather, I don't know, it's some space shit. So, I'm interested to see how it goes. I love No Man's Sky. And it kind of puts you in that vein, like a little more elaborate as far as space travel. So I'm interested to check it out. So, all right. Let's get right into it now. I think everybody, what they're basically talking about right now is Telltale Games and the big shutdown and huge amount of layoffs with the company. And Joel, I wanted to pick your brain on this. I think there were some bad decisions made on Telltale's behalf, but I kind of wanted to get your opinion on that. What do you think was the real maybe factor into this shutdown and these layoffs for Telltale?
Well, I mean, the biggest factor obviously is always going to be money, right? I mean, it's always that's what it's going to come down to. I think like I as like people in games, like we constantly forget, and we always put like we put video games like on this like pedestal that they immune to like business, right? Like we forget that business part, right? That's why we get so upset about microtransactions, and we're like, oh, this is bullshit. But we get upset, but dude, it's the reality is like it's a business. They're functioning as a business. So I think money has a big play into it, and maybe success of certain titles and some more recent projects with like lukewarm responses. Maybe I mean this isn't to knock on anybody's work here, right? But they made one type of game, and they spread it across so many different, I don't want to say verticals, but different kind of like story-based genres, so to speak, right? Because they did Batman, then they did The Wolf Among Us, they did the what is it the zombie stuff from AMC,
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Like they did all these different things, but at the end of the day, it was like one type of game. Again, it was a successful formula. I'm not knocking them for it, but then they also took on so many projects, so that had to have played a part in it. But I think they just weren't getting the traction that they needed to get to keep going, and they probably spread themselves out so thin. You can only be so good at so many things, at the same time, right? Like I think it was just a matter of just being spread out too thin, and things just like the roof caving in on them.
That type of storytelling, and like you said, I'm not knocking that genre because there are definitely fans of that genre. Sure, no doubt about it, because they wouldn't be able in a position to even release that many titles in that genre if there wasn't some sort of fan base. But that particular fan base can only get you so far, and do you nickel and dime the fan base that you have with microtransactions just to try to meet a quota, or do you take a stand against that type of policy and just try to release content when it's available for whatever price points you set? Those type of decisions that they made internally really affected the entirety of the business. I was kind of reading a little further into it because I wanted to see like what were like the real things that happened, and there were just bad money decisions. I mean,
but how about like not to cut you off, but like episodic content?
Yeah,
is that going to be the model going forward? Like, look at Hitman. Hitman did a complete 180.
It did. Remember, it started off as a episodic adventure.
Yeah.
Then they just said, "Fuck it, we'll sell it all together," and we'll just come out with the game like it really should have been in the first place.
Exactly.
A whole game that I didn't have to wait for updates or some sort of announcement for release of new episodes. And I felt like Telltale, and they actually were in a position, and this is the funny thing, I was reading about it too. They were in a position to really invest in different genres of games and companies that were looking to be bought, and they were looking to join up with other companies, and Telltale could have got a little bigger and started branching out, and applying their storytelling ethic into other genres, because I felt like the way they interact with they have you interact with backgrounds and conversations is amazing, and if you apply that to something a little more has a little more action to it, or a little more strategy, and a little more player input, I felt like they could have been a recipe for success. But they didn't choose to invest. They relied solely on some of the success of their titles, like Wolf Among Us. That title was very successful. Batman had a love-hate relationship with a lot of gamers. Some people loved it. Some people thought it was kind of fucking boring. The contrast between those two was kind of jarring, and they were talking about that too. They were just saying like there was also morale dip when Batman came out because some of the reviewers kind of trashed the fuck out of it, and sometimes word of mouth kills your sales. And like I said, their fan base is big, but not an industry, gigantic big fan base.
What's funny is that maybe it's not funny, but you bring up the reviewer piece, and one of the things I was seeing on Twitter yesterday was following like a lot of the backlash and all the stuff that was going on. One of the interactions was like, something along the lines of like, people there's people that make these games, blah blah blah. So be nice, man. Fuck you, man. Make a good game.
Right.
Like
this fucking special ed. Everybody get
wait a minute. Don't get me wrong. I understand there's humans. There are people that put their whole lives into this kind of stuff, and I don't think it's okay if people lose their jobs, but like you're making a product that is going out to market to get critiqued and get put under a microscope and get analyzed, and they're going to look for any little issue, or because the people that are reviewing are trying to look out for the people that are buying.
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's like the thought process. So to go out of your way to be like, oh, be nice. I'm like, why? Wait, time out.
Be nice. But you want those reviewers to be nice because it had a fucking Batman logo? Like, look, if the game doesn't have the quality of the other games, because there were games before it that had that same model, so and people those games got good reviews, so you would kind of expect it to follow suit. And when people finally played Batman, they were like, did they even try? Like, there was like no love, for Batman like that, like the other games in the same genre. And it was people were. I think the main thing was it was boring, and it's kind of hard to really put Batman in a space like that because Batman kicks fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, this beautiful story that's being told, and all this great writing and shit, but Batman needs to be wrecking some and breaking some legs and wrecking some motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like and you can't just go through a story with stills and certain transitions of animation without action. And it just that I think it just didn't blend well. But they put everything into it. They pushing money into that shit. They put a lot of advertising bucks in the Batman in that Batman Telltale game, and it just. And especially with the VR, I think you could do the Telltale one in VR, and it's like that did not help it at all.
They focus too much on the detective serious, aspect of Batman, and yes, we know he's a detective. Yes, we know he's always serious and brooding, but we don't want to see it for an entire game. We want to do other things other than watch him be serious and do his detective work and it's no fun. It was no fun to sit there and watch him, find all these little things, do all his little detective reasoning about why this, how they just put together. It's like, I don't care. Just get to the things so we can get to the action, and then it just dragged on, and it was like, oh.
So, and it's funny you mentioned like that piece of it, and when you think about it, like one license that probably would have worked really, really well for them, with that very like slow, methodic thinking and thought process, and even like the political stuff, something like Star Trek: The Next Generation, like
Star Trek would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Star Trek
I can
would have
see
done
that. Yeah.
gangbusters for Telltale, and it's crazy because that's another piece of it too, right? They gotta pay for these licenses to make these games.
Yeah.
Or whatever the relation, you know what I mean? So out of every copy that they sell, whether digital, physical, whatever it was, whether it was The Walking Dead, whether it was Batman, whether it was that Game of Thrones game, whether it was, they're not when you're licensing product, you're basically saying, I'm willing to take an L on this much of this percentage because I got to go pay, X, Y, and Z for the right to use these characters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making all this license. So stuff like The Wolf Among Us, where it's like original to them, that's probably the most beneficial to them. But anything involving any kind of licensing, right? So that's even more of these kinds of like, I don't want to say poor business decisions, but it was like high risk, high reward situations. And if they weren't making a certain amount back, they have all these employees. I mean, it was bound to happen at a certain point. It's kind of like a recipe for success. I mean, it's a recipe for failure if you think about it.
For sure, because Wolf Among Us was like actually kind of big. It had a lot of E3 press when it was announced. It was like after that, in the coming weeks, a lot of the news outlets was like doing a lot of reporting on the game. And then when people finally got to play it, like you said, it's their own baby. So there was a special type of care taken Among Us.
It has a very extensive comic book series too. So.
Well, yeah, but
there's a lot of story there for the people who really got into the game. They could, go and get the comics and continue on.
For sure. But then what they did was they leaned on that, and like I said, it's a great genre, but it's not something that's super gigantic in the industry. It's not enough fans of it to just sustain that plain business model. They had to branch out eventually, and that was the fuck branching out. We want to stay focused on this.
And I just thought about another project, that Borderlands game.
Yeah, Borderlands.
You think Gearbox and Randy Pitchford wasn't like, give me my money? You don't think he was there on payday?
Them motherfuckers had their
Randy Pitchford, of all people, Randy Pitchford published that Aliens Colonial Marines game.
Oh God,
Randy Pitchford is about his money. Yeah, and that company's about their money.
Right here, let's just get it out the way. Because he was pitching that bullshit, and that was trash.
Dude, those guys, they left. So that's another game. That's another license. That and they want they can call them partnerships all they want, right? When they come on stage and be like, "Oh, we just announced the new game with Telltale Games." Yeah, I got your partnership right here. It's a business decision. It's a calculated business decision. And those people that make those IP, whether it's Borderlands, whether it's what's it called, whether it's Game of Thrones, whether it's Batman, whatever it is, they're taking a sizable chunk, right? So you're paying hand over fist to use this IP, use these licenses. You're hiring all these people. You're putting them on 10 million different projects. I mean, when wasn't this going to happen?
I mean, look at Batman's licensing. Like it's like. Then fucking WB, then AT, and this is like all these motherfucking companies that have some sort of subsidiary ownership of the Batman license. You know how much they had to fork over just to kind of, and they went all in on that Batman shit. Like I was reading about that too. I think that was one of their most expensive ones that they did.
It was just like with the license of Friday the 13th. They're having trouble with Friday the 13th and licensing, and now they're going to court for it, all that.
Yeah,
and this is why we're not getting DLC for
a little bit of it. Sony owns a little bit of it. It's just like all these different hands that have some sort of control over the license, and that's where Telltale fell in. That's where they kind of fucked up.
Look,
why didn't they just make more IPs for themselves instead of licensing out everybody else's idea?
Because they doubled down on bringing other people's ideas to life in the way they tell story.
And also because video games.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this great new idea. That's cool. Give me Call of Duty 17, please. Thank you.
Could you imagine Telltale doing Call of Duty game? Like, because that's what their decisions were. Was like they were starting to reach out to these IPs that really you're trying to put it in a box that may not fit. I could not play a Telltale Call of Duty game. Like it's like how would
I mean? Look,
you know what? We would actually get a decent story since they haven't had a good story in a long while. So.
Yeah, and they just gave up this year.
Fuck it.
Yeah, they had.
That's what. Hold on, let me take a light for myself because I did pre-order it. So let's just get that.
Yeah, congratulations. So going back, though,
Joe, you're like, congratulations, Joe.
I'm on this website, and I'm just, and I know that we named like half of these already, but look at this. Check this out. I'm just scrolling down. So we got The Walking Dead. We have Minecraft, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Batman, Game of Thrones, Jurassic Park. Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, they did do Back to the Future.
Like this is Sam and Max that existed before them. Dude,
Sam and Max was actually good though.
They had Law and Order too. I have the Law and Order game.
God, that sounds so fun.
That's old school. That's old school.
It was a good game. It was a good game, but yeah, it's old. When they were first getting started, yeah, Law and Order.
So again, in residuals, and royalty, and it's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I think like the biggest thing though, I mean, it was a crazy kind of thing that's happening. But one thing I know about this industry is that all of these displaced people are going to bounce back. People are reaching out. Ubisoft, I don't know if you guys saw this. Ubisoft actually put out a thing. They're doing a mixer for all Telltale employees in San Francisco. Like, just come out, have a couple drinks with us awesome. Next week. Drinks and dinner, just I guess to see where everyone's head's at and see if there's any fit for them there. So
Sony Santa Monica put out a tweet too and said that they have posted a link for their website, like the career section, and they were like, they said they know some of these people are very talented and, they're hiring currently, looking for people, and they were like, they need to go to the website right now and put the information down. I mean, to me that's industry with respect. That's just respect the craft and saying, you know what, you guys, even though you may have made some bad decisions monetarily, but your art and your storytelling and your talent cannot be denied. So we would love to have you. And
Right.
that's an amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was surprised when I saw that tweet. I was like, okay. It's Sony.
Yeah. I feel like the industry always looks out for itself, whether it's on like the development side, even I'll say over. I mean, it's almost a decade now of kind of doing this thing. I've seen like a lot of like even PR contacts, right? So these aren't the behind the scenes people. These are the people bringing the titles to media. I've seen PR contacts literally bounce from like Sony to Microsoft to Capcom to here, and they're always getting more opportunities and further in their own career. So I'm sure everybody in that company will find a home, quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think what comes into it, you don't think about the human aspect, right? Like picking up and uprooting your family and relocating and all these other things, because that obviously that's like something that plays into it. But a lot of these companies being on the West Coast, it's a matter of, do you want to be in LA or do you want to be in San Francisco? With a lot of these organizations. So it's they'll be all right, I think.
I think they'll be all right too. I mean, like I said, those guys are talented. Maybe they need a better, financial advisor, but when it comes to actually putting shit down and putting the work in, they're dedicated, and they believe in the things that they do, even if the decision is not the best, but they still believe in it, and that's all you can hope for, is that somebody puts out some content that they actually fucking believe in, instead of shoehorning some shit because investors said it had to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they care about the product. They're like, fuck it. If it's the wrong choice, okay, that's on us. But we cared about it enough to actually go all the way through, put all of our resources toward it and try to push it out to be something that you might enjoy.
Me personally, I would like to see, Sony snatch them all up and say, look, come work for us. We'll take care of you and, spoil you all. And they can work on Uncharted, like an Uncharted Telltale's game and things like that. They continue doing what they're good at doing.
Well, here's the thing about Sony though, and and I was gonna save this for final round, but don't think Sony. And like I said, I props to Sony and what they have done and shit. But don't try to paint Sony as just like this super savior of the development masses, and they're gonna like fucking treat everybody with super respect, because it depends on where you end up. You know what I'm saying? You can get some hard asses, and then they may put out good shit, but it's hard fucking life working there. You know what I'm saying? They could be put somewhere to where it's super easy, but a lot of their projects get overlooked. So you just gotta kind of let's see where they end up. There's more than just Sony. Because THQ, that segue into THQ, they're buying a ton of fucking IPs right now, and they're gonna need people to develop the shit. So they may reach out to them too. They may say, hey, I see you ain't working, but we just bought motherfucking Alone in the Dark, and we need somebody to tell a good ass story and continue that story from back in the GameCube days and shit. So. It just depends on where the fuck they end up. Maybe some of them can end up in Dualshockers. Look. Yeah.
There you go. Dualshockers make their own game.
Yeah.
That shit's going to get a 10, right?
Game of the year, 10 out of 10.
It's a fucking top-down shooter in an office. How is this a 10 out of 10?
Yo, Scotty, if you're in the chat still, get your PR skills working, man. Go get that job.
Let's keep going. This is what, 1999? Is that what we're doing right now, Joel? Is that what he's saying? It's because I'll buy it. Shit, one of us can be a boss. Shit, why not?
Let's make it happen.
Wow.
But yeah, like I was saying earlier about THQ, now they're buying a ton of IPs. So I was trying to see pull up the list that they're buying, but they have bought Alone in the Dark was just announced. What was the other? I think the other one was Kingdoms of Amalur. That was another big one.
I'm pretty sure they bought that joint for like $7.
Hey, but look,
Damn.
No, I'm happy they did. I'm happy they did.
Yeah, I love that fucking game. Like, I swear that was like, and that was Skyrim times too, because I was still like, is this better than Skyrim? Because the combat in Kingdoms of Amalur was so fucking good. So and it was like Skyrim. It was like Skyrim with God of War combat. You can't ask for much more than that. So they bought that IP. But what do you think, Joel? What do you think, man? You think THQ can do a good job by some of these IPs?
Yeah, I mean, as long as listen, IP is one thing, development studio is another one. But hey, I think we found like 80 people looking for a job right now. So
That's devastating.
no, I mean, the thing is, it's all going to come down. Your IP is only going to get you so far. Obviously, I think like with gaming in general, we're like really tied to nostalgia. Let's look at that PlayStation Classic.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
We'll get there. But I mean, we got like real serious problems with nostalgia. So them buying IP, established IP, I think is huge for them going forward. And then the parent company is the one that's making those deals. So that's Koch Media, right?
Mm-hmm.
That owns THQ, is kind of just like positioning themselves and getting stuff ready to. So I think them getting these IPs, it's going to be some of. It looks like they're buying like what I like to call tentpole titles, right? When I look at a developer like Ubisoft, right, their tentpoles are Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy stuff, right? Whether that's Rainbow Six or Ghost Recon. Their other tentpole title is, I guess, Watch Dogs for all intents and purposes. When that comes back,
Yeah, even though
that comes back, yeah. So these, EA has their tentpoles with basically anything Star Wars, now Anthem. So all these studios have like these titles that basically pay the rent. Let's say, right? These are the studios. These are the games, the IPs that kind of will always bring in revenue every 3 to 6 years, and as long as you get them in a nice cycle rotating, and then you're able to experiment a little bit more and come out with these new IPs that people won't buy. But you can come out with new IPs and introduce new games because you have established stuff. So I think that's probably what they're going to go for.
Yeah, because that would be nice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. When I heard they got Alone in the Dark, I'm like, I just thought all the way back to the GameCube days, and I remember like wanting to see this game, continue. It was scary. The game was actually scary. I love the controls for the game. It was kind of Resident Evil-ish a little bit, but it was like, I don't know, somehow the camera was like behaved better. So I was happy about that. I was happy about Kingdoms of Amalur for sure. And then there was another one, I think Time Splitters. Yeah. So they've got the Time Splitters franchise. Now I wasn't really too much into that game when it first came out, but it does have a fan base. So the THQ really put some muscle into that and some money into those franchises. They can't really fuck up if they just take pride in the franchise. It's one of those things where it's an easy fucking get. If you got Kingdoms of Amalur, don't try to change too much of it. Just maybe the graphics engine that's used, but still try to stay in that same vein of very, very open, crafting, all the good shit that we had in the first one. You want to stay true to that. Alone in the Dark needs to be very, very story driven. And it has to have a hella atmosphere and put you in situations that kind of throw you the fuck off. So, if they can stick with that instead of that last, because wasn't there another Alone in the Dark after that when it came out on GameCube that was like shitty as fuck? It was like nothing to do with like how I used to play on GameCube, and it just went off the rails, and people weren't kind of feeling it. So, but if they can really put some investment into it and really, really take it seriously, they could get some money. Like you said, this can be their money makers, their main staples. They have, Alone in the Dark and fucking Darksiders, and then they can add Kingdoms of Amalur to that, and they just have these giant IPs that they constantly can throw around on multi-systems.
Yeah, and rotate them in and out, Kind of like well, Microsoft. I mean, again, I think all the publishers do this, right? They have like these 4 or 5 handful of games, and it's like you get like an 18-month rotation between them, and then you know, when you see that logo hit at the E3 press conference and it gets a sick pop like you're at WrestleMania, everyone starts going nuts. They play some relevant Kanye West track. And it's like, it's back, and then people lose their shit.
Lies. Like, oh shit!
I remember that year that they played "Power" from Kanye West. Like 7 different trailers had that same song. I was sitting in LA. I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" I was like, "They're playing this song again."
Dude, every trailer had that fucking song, man. Like, and I thought that was just me. So I'm glad you said that, man. Because I'm like, am I tripping?
I was like, yo, Forza? Kanye? What? What's happening?
It's like, how hard can Forza be? Like,
no one Forza can have all this power.
But that song do make every trailer like hard though. But
that year was basically Kanye West Power and Crossbows. Every crossbow. I was like, did we forget we have guns? What's going on right now? Like,
it was like every class had a crossbow. It's like, okay, one got a rope, one is explosive, the other one has flaming. You know,
I feel like it's funny because you mentioned Tomb Raider earlier, and I feel like that was the year that we Tomb Raider debut. Yeah, it was like, yo, she got a crossbow, son. This is crazy.
It's like, damn, I thought she had a regular bow in the trailer.
Fucking Chewbacca's been using a crossbow since the 70s. It was never a big deal. Never a big deal.
It's like laser. So, but yeah, THQ, you know, do a good job. If you do a good job, I'll buy it. Fuck it. You know,
give it the Darksider love. Don't give it the love that they give all their other games that are just ass.
Yeah, that BMX. So what was that game that we were talking about the other day?
They had all their MXX, ATV games. Those are just so shit.
I know. I think that's what THQ kind of does. They have their throwaway kind of catalog where it's like lower tier.
They have a lot of throwaway in their catalog. I can tell you.
That's
they have a lot of throwaway.
Sports though, because remember,
it's not just sports. They have that fucking one with that freaking cat. It's like a tiger. It's like a ninja tiger. Shitty game. It's not Ty the Tiger. I think it's a different one. It's a different one. It's horrible. Horrible. They have that. They have. Oh man, they do have other ones that aren't sports, and they're just shit. It's like literally nobody knows the name of them because they're shit. Okay, nobody wants to play.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
You know, but
I would like them to pick up a.
Go ahead, Big Mike.
I would like them to pick up the WWE license again. I like their WWE.
They did the story. The story was
decent.
decent.
Hit this man with that sound. Hit him now. Hit him with that sound right now.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry, Joel.
I like the campaign. I like the campaign that THQ had, but their online was so bad. It was so bad, and they're customizing. The customizing was shit too. Like literally all your characters look the same.
But SmackDown was the shit. SmackDown versus Raw.
They literally took the items for your create a player from the previous games and they just copied them in the next game. So you never got anything new. You literally could recreate the same character in every fucking game.
That's what I did.
They were on that Call of Duty hype. They were on that Call of Duty hype.
To the extreme. Like it was worse. It was worse.
They made this.
Right.
I mean, but let's get real. I mean, 2K looks nice for WWE, but the game is shit.
I don't play them. Like I played only one WWE game when 2K took over, and that was the last game I've ever played. They ruined it for me.
I got 2K17. I liked it. I mean, I thought it was good. I don't know. I'm kind of a fanboy of like the old Aki style.
See, that's me. I have 2K17 for WWE and 2K18, and I got burned. I'm like, I'm not getting 2K19. It's gonna be a red box moment.
Well, if I get a red box, bring it home, and it's just a piece of paper inside the damn cartridge. I'm gonna be mad as fuck. Red box, fuck you. Because there's times when I'm red box, open it up, and it say "fuck you" in it. Like, You know, I don't know. Like I said, THQ, if they just give it the Darksiders love, there should be nothing to worry about for sure.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, like buying a game like Amalur, right? Like, how hard is it to develop a role-playing game?
Oh,
Because you have to come up with so much canon and stories and background and character. These guys, they're basically gonna have it all teed up, right?
you know,
Like Kurt,
but
Kurt
look,
Schilling's company that folded laid out the foundation for Amalur.
he did. Big Huge Games did it, so it's already kind of there. All they would have to do is expand on the lore, and make sure that they get a system, you know, that runs well. And shit, honestly, nowadays, looks is everything. You know, it needs to look the part.
Yes.
You know, it's when they bring that shit out. You know, we need fabric physics. We need black dude physics. You're probably gonna be familiar with that.
Which they can do that. They can do that. I mean, they do have games in their library that, you know, are up to par with what we would expect graphically these days.
For sure, for sure.
I mean, like Quantum Break, it looked pretty good. You know what I mean? So they have the ability. Just don't make another Quantum Break, please.
Right.
Okay, THQ, don't make another Quantum Break. But you can take, we know that you can make games to that part. Just usually a lot of the games THQ has, they're very cartoony. They don't really go for the realism, and when they do go for realism, you get Elex and shitty games. So stay away from that.
Well, keep in mind they made that South Park game right when they folded.
Yes.
So Stick of Truth was them. Believe it or not.
Amazing.
Oh,
I
wow.
love Stick of Truth.
Say Stick of Truth was great.
Legend of K. That's the fucking game. Legend of K.
Oh, I remember that one. Okay, yeah, that game was. Yeah, that was shitty.
It was like, they had a Ninja Tiger, but it wasn't the Tiger. It was Legend of K.
I do remember that game. It was stiff as fuck.
Yeah, it was,
I can't even turn left in this bitch. Like, I do remember that game. Okay, but like I said, THQ, please just make sure you invest the money. Don't be scared to put some real money in the, Alone in the Dark. Don't be scared to put some real money in Kingdoms of Amalur, because I guarantee there's enough people out there that loved it when it first came out that will come back and support it easily. And they do trust THQ. A lot of gamers, even myself, even though they come out with shovelware too, I trust THQ, because when they really do take pride in the game is amazing.
They should do, Amalur, like Kingdoms of Amalur should be. I have the utmost confidence in them because they do have a lot of games that are ready that adventure and RPG style. So
battle, yeah.
So they know how to do that. I mean, they I'm not worried.
All right. Next up, we got Spider-Man. So Spider-Man has fucking made a 360 back into the fucking gaming conversation, because when Spider-Man came out, it was controversy, fake ass, a pissed offness, and people Puddlegate and all this shit. And when Spider-Man came out, it was like amazing. And then now Spider-Man has kind of made this full circle roundabout in the news cycle. Again, they are officially the fastest selling PS4 or like Sony exclusive. I think it's Sony gaming exclusive. So what do you guys think of that? Like Spider-Man beat like what, God of War and like The Last of Us, and fucking it beat everything, right?
Sales wise, yeah.
Yeah, sales wise. Yeah. So sales wise, it was the fastest selling. I mean, that's just interesting. Was it because?
I'd say it's because of Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's well known from to us. Let's just in the podcast. Even kids now these days love Spider-Man.
Not just that. It's also the way they made it look. When they showed it off at E3 and stuff, they had the best looking trailers and everything. So they really brought that hype.
They did. I guess it was one of those things where it was just like, look,
there are people who haven't touched a Spider-Man game in probably 3 generations that saw that trailer and like, oh damn, I'm playing it.
And plus,
I was gonna say, I have to say, like in basically in any kind of social feed and like non-gaming circles, people are talking about Spider-Man. That's when I knew. I was like, this shit is real. When I was seeing the screenshots show up on like people that had no idea are into video games were like, just picked up the Spider-Man. This is nuts. And I was just like, wait a minute. That's when I was like, this is gonna be like really over the top.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that Friday night, that Friday, I that weekend I played nonstop with my kid. It was my birthday weekend, and that's like all I wanted to do for my birthday. I was just laying my own filth and not move, and I just didn't want anything. I didn't want anything spoiled, so I was like, no, we're gonna power through this shit. I don't care if you got homework. I don't care what you have planned. I was like, we're just gonna work through this right now, me and you, and
just wallow in your own. You know?
Yeah. I felt disgusted. I was like not proud of it, but I was low key proud of it, powering through it, and
let's do this.
Finished it, and yeah, I knew it was like another. It was like another level. I was like, seeing it on everybody's feed, I was like, this is no joke. So I'm really not surprised that they're hitting those numbers. What were you gonna say, Mike? I'm sorry.
I was just saying the game was amazing, and I mean, shit, everybody had fun with it. We're still waiting for Terry to get the game.
I'm gonna get it. Just, Tomb Raider. I can only pick one game, and I go with Tomb Raider.
Wait, we got to hit her with the sound. Let's go.
Uh-oh. Danny,
I went off of I knew I would get more time out of Tomb Raider. Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a game I'll play once, not touch. Tomb Raider, I will do more than one playthrough. So it was more bang for my buck.
I can tell you, I can play. I'm gonna play Spider-Man again.
You might play it again, but I know you, Mike. You're not gonna touch it again. You're gonna just move on to the next game. You're gonna move on to the next game, dude. Yes.
This has a
You're gonna move on to you're not gonna touch Spider-Man again until he drops some DLC, and then you're just gonna play that.
This has a new game plus they're working on, and like I said, the story is fantastic.
You're not gonna play it again.
Oh, I am.
Actually, okay, how many playthroughs of God of War did you do? Because I remember you said you were gonna play that again and again and again. How many playthroughs?
I started a new game plus on God of War. Thank you.
How far did you get into that new game plus?
I'm probably halfway.
Halfway, and then you quit?
No, I'm bouncing between Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and
you quit.
Else.
You moved on to the next game. See?
I'm actually going to continue playing some more God of War. And expose me. I see you.
I don't see how you're gonna have time to go back to God of War when you're supposedly gonna do Spider-Man again, and you're doing Overwatch and Fortnite and who knows what else, dude.
Big Mike. So
you're not going back.
Big Mike.
Because I can juggle I can juggle my gaming.
Big Mike. So you're saying right now you're gonna honestly go back to playing God of War?
Yeah.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Why have you started it though, Daddy? Oh.
Exposed.
All right.
How many playthroughs of that Setsuna shit did you do?
I only did one playthrough. So
yeah, I remember you going on about how amazing that game was. I guess it was only amazing enough. It was amazing for one playthrough. That's it.
It was an amazing game
for one playthrough.
Big Mike, right?
It was.
And that's the thing with a lot of these games. I mean, yeah, they're well done, but most people, it's one and done. It's one and done. You know what I mean?
Nah.
One and done.
He said he's the fucking exception.
I know a lot of people bought and are playing Spider-Man, but I have a feeling a lot of them are not coming back for Game Plus.
Actually,
they're going to be so busy with all the other titles coming out.
I've even done two.
Between we have Red Dead, we got Division. There's all these other titles still coming out that everybody's going to be jumping to. No one's going to be Spider-Man's right. No one's going to be thinking about going back to Spider-Man a few months from now.
Think about it though. This the holidays is coming up too. What do you think they're going to start bundling up and start putting on sale?
Yeah, but so many people bought the game now.
Once it's going to be on sale.
But the core people already played it. Yes, there's going to be those latecomers that are going to get it in the holiday season, but majority of the Spider-Man core base already played it. They're not going back. They're not going to go back. They're not going to go back. They're going to be playing all the other games that are going to come out in 3 to 4 months. And they're going to forget about Spider-Man.
One portion.
How do you really feel?
Damn.
It's how it happens for every damn game. It's
Yeah,
like everyone
that's
says,
right.
yeah, I'm going to do all this stuff, and no, you don't. You don't go back, because all the other games are coming out. You don't go back.
Look, Joel, how about this segment?
Yeah.
Since we're talking about replaying games, Sony has announced PlayStation Classic. Joel,
That price.
After Joel, I'm gonna go to Platinum, but Joel first. What do you think about this, man?
No, I think I don't want to say we saw it coming, but you know, with the success of like SNES and NES Classic and all that stuff, I think it makes sense for a micro console. But that $100 price point, you know,
Man, it's
not to shit on Sony. You know what? Let's actually shit on Sony for a little bit.
I'm about to say, please.
They tend to like they kind of like live in a vacuum as if it's just them right now because they're hot.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
really, really hot right now. So they kind of like put themselves in kind of like this. Hey, we're gonna just do our own thing and charge whatever the hell we want to charge, and you can like it or nah. And I feel like that's what they did with like the classic. And
Because remember,
$100 is a lot of money
about,
for 25-year-old games. Maybe it's
remember
just
the
me.
big complaint about backwards compatibility.
The SNES and the NES for at that price point made sense. Even then they were overpriced, but 100 is really just completely overpriced.
Man, it's $99.
That was just my take on it.
Mhm.
All right, can you hear me? Hello.
I hear you.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think they're just doing what
can't hear you
Nintendo
guys.
did. I mean, Nintendo, when they dropped their NES little mini, I mean, that thing sold for a lot. You know, everybody was thinking that price point was too high, and then you kept seeing all these people, increasing the price, and people were still buying it. So,
But didn't Sony say something like they wanted to really like listen to the gamer and provide some backwards compatibility with their games and shit? Like,
They should have fucking, if anything, they should have fucking done PS3 then. They should have brought it back.
PS3
I
Mini?
guarantee you that will market sell like crazy.
what?
You think a PS3 Mini would sell?
PS3. If they
It hasn't been going long enough for everybody to be
Wow.
nostalgic about it. I still have one. You know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm saying. Not many people do though.
A lot of people, I think, still it hasn't been gone long enough for people to miss it.
Shit.
Yeah, I still $100. So it's funny because you mentioned the resale thing, right? Like, because that's what was happening with the NES. Like, they didn't make enough, so they were reselling them. So but think about it, right? So if this is retailing at 100, if they don't make enough, people are going to be reselling this thing at $200, $250. Like, that's stupid.
Damn, I didn't even pay for that when it came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think I paid for that motherfucker. Yeah.
I just, again, it's just like it comes down to them being like in a vacuum, untouchable right now, and that's because that lead that they have is what allows them to just do whatever the hell they want.
It's insurmountable.
Well, hopefully they don't, get their ego too high because, they could totally fuck up the PS5 then, thinking that they're untouchable and then, flop. So.
PS5 still 1080p at 30. And it's like, what? You want me to motherfucking pay what? For what? We had 1080p at 30 on the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. So why would the PS5 come out like that? I hope they don't make that decision because that means that they're gonna let PC and damn near maybe Nintendo win.
I'm just saying they're comfortable that they like don't have to push the envelope, right? Like,
Right.
Look at that. You can go to a store right now. Here's like a really like crazy one, and it just gives you, I guess, further insights to how petty they are, right? The PS2, the PS4 Slim model. It's had like 5 revisions, like on the SKU number,
Right.
like little touches, because they figured out how to make a certain part cheaper or a certain piece smaller or a certain thing, but they don't bring down the price point, and the shit still does not have 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi.
Right.
Like,
Still,
dude, you could buy like a $100 burner phone that has 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. You could get like a trap phone that has 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi.
that's true.
And Sony is so petty. Because again, it comes down to like just being in that vacuum, and they don't care. It's like, well, we got God of War, we're hot. We got Spider-Man, we're hot. Like, that's it.
But
That's
remember
where
they Remember they had the update on the network card too. Like people were complaining about the downloads of games because that shit takes forever to really download some games.
Oh yeah.
They did the refresh on the network card. It was like, really? And then you want to charge a motherfucker to buy a whole new system just to get a faster Ethernet, card so it can download faster. Like, you want to buy a whole new fucking system for that.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
People bought it.
Look at how long it took them to finally make it to where you can get, external hard drives to work with a PlayStation.
Oh.
It took them fucking forever to be like, yeah, fine, we'll let you guys get external hard drives. It's like, what?
Yeah. I mean, you even go back to their answer of like the whole crossplay thing, and I'm sure you guys touched weeks ago when it was like the hot topic. But like, again, it goes back to the whole vacuum. It was like, hey man, do you guys mind giving us crossplay? I think gamers would really like it. And then their answer's like, well, we're the best place to play video games, so we really don't care.
I thought that was awesome when they
Like,
back.
that's some real like living in a vacuum shit.
Yeah, and if they stay with that mentality though, and they stay with that comfort level, like we don't need to worry, they're not going to have that motivation to really push to be, to do great with the next generation console. And everybody else who's, playing catch up, they have to compete, so they have the drive, and Sony doesn't give a shit. So if Sony doesn't give a shit, they could, really, drop the ball.
Yeah.
You know what else it showed too? It showed how many Switch owners there are. People don't really see how many people own a Nintendo Switch. And it was like people finally got a Switch. Fortnite came out. They pulled up their motherfucking logins. They went to log into their Switch, and it was like, fuck you. You're a PlayStation player. You can't play on this. But then you got PC dudes kind of like myself. I got a Switch. I logged in just fine. No fucking problem. It just worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Microsoft shit. If you had an account through them and you logged in on your fucking Switch, it worked fine. There was no hiccups, no pop-ups saying that, Sony owns your balls, none of that shit. It was just, here, you can play it, And I think the forums that lit up, with them, and cussing their ass out about how I can't fucking log in. I'm gonna lose all my shit if I have to create another account on Switch. It was gigantic, but that's the vacuum, like you said, that Sony's in. They felt like, well, we're big enough to really say fuck that.
Yeah.
And
let's talk about this real quick. The PS1 controller is straight trash. I don't know if y'all remember this, but it feels like you're holding a rock with buttons on it.
Yeah.
So, like, they couldn't even, and if I remember correctly, at the end of that generation, we got analog sticks.
We did, yes. The first with Dualshockers.
But so we, those came in and they're like, no. Give them the straight trash. Charge them $100. Like that's, I don't know. It's a joke to me. I'm sorry. I'm not picking one up. I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it 100%.
I still have a PS1 in the box. I don't need to worry about it.
I got it. I'm a PC guy, so of course pirate. That motherfucker Iron Me matey. I got emulators and shit. So it's like, whatever. I really don't fucking need it. I do want to play Legend of Dragoon though. If that, but that's one of my favorite games. But do I want to spend fucking $99 on a PlayStation Mini to fucking play Legend of Dragoon at the same resolution it was originally? Like, no. No. I don't want to play that shit right now like that. And especially not with the controllers. Like Joel said,
they should either do a remaster or a remake of that game, because that one would do a lot. Because whenever I talk to people about, games that, they love the most back when they started gaming when they were younger, Legend of Dragoon is always one that everybody always lists off.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Such
don't
a great
treat it
game.
like Chrono Trigger though. Don't treat it like Chrono Trigger though. That's
see.
Chrono Trigger is shitty as fuck.
Yeah, let's talk really quick though. People talk about Chrono Trigger like that wasn't an SNES game before.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this even coming up in the conversation right now? Like, people don't even know that game wasn't a Super Nintendo game. I was like, what? They're like, why are you? Because we actually on the site on Dualshockers, cheap plug by the way, Dualshockers.com. Check it out for your game you need. So on the site, we had thrown up a list of like, the games we want to see, and everyone's like, "Where's Chrono Trigger?" I'm like, "Whoa, fam, chill out. That's not your game."
Why is everybody on Chrono Trigger's ass? I mean, they realize there's other games in this series, right?
Yeah. Well, there's that, but the fact that it was and so those are PlayStation games. But Chrono Trigger was originally an SNES title, so I think people forget their roots. So that one keeps coming up. I don't know why.
I mean, yes, but it's just I just don't want the same effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do Legend of Dragoon over, don't put the same effort that they did with Chrono Trigger, because when it came out for iOS, it was like, what the fuck is this? And then they brought it out of and people were still like, what in the fuck is this?
Who made it? Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon.
You remember who made it?
That was Sony, right? That was in-house Sony, right?
It was in-house Sony.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking it up right now. Shit.
I know Daniel probably take my life, but I actually went and pre-ordered the PlayStation Classic.
You did? Let me get that out the way now.
you're
more reason why you won't be going back to Spider-Man.
You are part of the problem, sir.
Well, I'm hoping they, like I said, I'm hoping they'll stick Legend of Dragoon on it, and maybe even Parasite Eve. That's one of the games I'm looking forward to.
So it's funny you bring up Legend of Dragoon. The producer on that game was actually Shu.
Really?
Yeah, Shuhei Yoshida.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah.
It says they were developed by SCE Japan Studios.
Yeah, Japan Studios.
Yeah. 1999.
He's OG.
That's OG. But I just don't understand why that shit hasn't happened. Like, I know they have heard it. I mean, you got some tryhards in the forums, and they make sure that Sony fucking hears that, Legend of Dragoon needs to be remade or redone or remastered, something. Finish the series, let's continue the story, something. But the classic ain't it. The motherfucking Sony Classic is not the fix that we're looking for. That's the corporate greed. That's the investors saying, "Hey, Nintendo can do it. Fuck it, let's do it." And let's come out with a mini. And it's trash. I know it's trash because the controllers
you can't say it's trash. You can't say it's trash.
Yeah. It's trash, man. Because it's gonna be so fucking locked down and DRM to fuck. It's gonna be trash, man. For real, dude. And and Nintendo shit is like that too. So it's just because Nintendo doesn't mean that shit is trash. It's trash too. It's just that's the corporate greed. We want your money, even if it's some shit you don't need. So
did you get the Nintendo Online yet?
No.
Because
that's a good segue too. And speaking of Nintendo Online, fuck Nintendo. Nintendo confirmed that
I'm not with that, man. I love you.
Listen,
Danny is the biggest Nintendo spokesperson fanboy, and for him to be pissed off right now and salty is big because he was the one. He was promoting the Switch before everybody else was promoting the Switch, and everybody said it was going to be trash.
Yo, Nintendo, listen to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the hugest Nintendo mark, so I feel like I can say fuck them right now.
You were supporting the Switch back before they even knew what the hell they were calling it, and everybody said it was going to be trash.
Mm-hmm. So. It was Project Print Money when they first announced it, and then they gave it a name. So
it was so bad there, Joel. That he was like promoting it so bad, and when he realized that it kind of failed on him, Tony Polanco shouted to throwdown, and Casilli was ready to come in and hand him that L.
It was just
what
something.
What do you mean by fail? The Switch is amazing.
Time out. Wait, what do you mean? What part of the Switch failed? Hold on.
That's what I'm
talking about.
Nothing on the Switch failed. I mean, it was the whole. I got my words mixed up. It was the whole. He thought he saw Red Dead coming to Switch.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. Here's the thing. All right, Joe. Let me explain.
No. There's no explaining that. Give yourself the sound right now. Hold on. Time out. Before you go any further.
I like Joe.
I'm pointing that way because that's what your square is. It's like. So I need you to play the sound.
I did.
Thank you.
Was that to me or was that to Danny?
Me and you both lost one mic. So here we go.
Okay.
We shared that one. Here's what happened. Okay, they were showing these two cowboys, and they were like, you know what I'm saying? It was like that E3 shit, and no, it was on the Nintendo thing. Yeah, the Nintendo.
It was the game 1-2 switch. It was the game 1-2 switch.
Listen, I was hype as for that. This is on live. Go to our channel. You can check it out for yourself to see how I failed that day. But
yeah, it was great. Like he was jumping out of his seat. Like they're showing cowboys on the Nintendo thing, and he's like, "Oh yes, Red Dead, let's go!" And then they revealed 1-2 switch, and it was just crickets.
I was blinded by hypeness when that shit came. And it was nobody was on the other side, and they had the fucking Joy-Con. I'm like, what is this? 1-2 switch. Motherfuckers was milking cows and dumb shit. I could not believe it. I was so embarrassed. Like, I was super hyped, man, on live, man, and it was totally embarrassed, dude.
I can't believe you thought that was Red Dead Redemption.
Dude, I know.
I told him, I was like, yo, you need to calm your hype down. That's not Red Dead, man.
I cannot believe.
Listen, that's how much of a switch mark I was. So this is why I can say. You know what I'm saying? But the NES controllers that they announced, to me, is just the same as Sony's classic bullshit. It's the we want your money in order to play nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? And like these Nintendo controllers, when they first announced it, they made it seem like, they can be used on kind of anything kind of retro that you can get on the system, but it's not the case at all. These controllers only work, and it's officially confirmed now, that they only work with the online NES catalog. So even the games that you've downloaded already won't work. You have to use just the online catalog to use them. And I could not fucking believe it. And I was in denial from the last show.
You were
officially confirmed. So now I'm even more salty than ever. But what do you think of that, Joel? Do you think that's a good idea for Nintendo and these retro style controllers?
Well, look what they did. They just sold you hardware straight up. They were like, oh, you didn't want to buy an NES Classic? Say no more. You got to. You don't want to give us $60? We're gonna go get the $60 right now. So that's some
bullshit.
That's what they're doing. Understand from Nintendo's business model, from like the get-go, they've never ever taken an L on hardware. Ever. They've never since.
Did their party chat count as hardware? Because they had that whole, I don't know, their whole party chat system was pretty stupid.
Since after like I want to say after the SNES, they never took a loss on the GameCube. They never took a loss, and they didn't even. I mean, the GameCube. I don't want to say it's a failure. The Wii U was a failure, but the GameCube wasn't the SNES, and it definitely wasn't the N64. All right, so I'm sorry. So N64, they made money right out of the gate on the hardware. GameCube, they made money out of the gate. The Wii U, they made money.
Super successful. I think that was their most, other than SNES, right?
So yeah, so their Game Boy line, the 3DS, the DS, they've always been a hardware company. I think we always forget about that piece. They know how to make their money.
That's true.
And they're not going to leave $1 on the table. And if they know that, and if they're pulling on those nostalgic heartstrings of yours, they're going to be like, we got this motherfucker right now.
I'm real close to being got. Like, I have to put that fucking controller. It's like, man.
And that's just how they roll. Now, if they wanted to do the right thing, I think the right thing would have been to make like a USB adapter for the NES Classic controllers to plug into like the dock. But that'd be too easy, and then they can't get you to buy the shit. So Yeah, that's just for me. It's just Nintendo being Nintendo and just making sure that they can sell you an accessory that cost them 99 cents to make for 3,000% markup.
I'm telling you, man. When they said it was like it's only strictly for the NES online catalog. So not only that, you get the online. You have to pay for the fucking Nintendo Online to get that shit too. And it's like, okay, the price isn't crazy. I mean, I think it's like $20 a year or something.
$20 a year.
Yeah, so it's not too crazy. That's okay. But damn, there's a lot of stipulations in order to get my motherfucking nostalgia on. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Because they know that you're willing to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. And you can do a 7-day free trial also, which I started.
But you can't do the free trial with the NES controllers unless you buy them first.
Actually, technically, you're wrong. Technically, you're wrong. I'm actually playing, River City Ransom Double Dragon.
No.
But you're not playing it with the controllers, though. You have to buy the controllers.
They sent you them for free. They say, here, try them out. If you think they're good,
that's what he's saying, Mike. You would have to still buy the controllers before doing the free trial to test the controllers.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong. I'm actually playing. No, hold on. Hear me out. I'm actually playing Double Dragon and River City Ransom with the Pro controller.
Okay, because that's not what I'm saying, man. And you have 3 lives left, so you in danger.
Oh, you're fine.
That's not the fuck I'm saying. I am saying that in order to have the full experience, game with retro controls, that trial technically isn't free all the way. If I want to have the full experience, I still have to pay $59.99 for the controllers and then take advantage of the free trial that they're offering for their online and test the controllers out to see how responsive they are. But I have to buy it first. They're not going to send me the controllers and say, hey, let us know how it is.
That's wild, man. $60. And again, $60 is wild.
Man, they want $60 before you get free shit. It's just I just don't understand it right now, and that's why I'm like that's
your fault though.
I love Nintendo, but fuck you on this, for real. I know Joel.
That's your fault though. Remember,
I know he has standards and he has policies and procedures, and he just can't outright say fuck Nintendo. But I am his voice right now.
He's like yes,
because I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
He's like, you're not pulling me in, Daddy. You're not pulling me in, Daddy.
He's not gonna do it. And I respect him for that. You know what I'm saying? But, I have no contracts with Nintendo. So fuck me right now. Now you come to me, Nintendo, and say, hey, we're gonna make you the official podcast of Nintendo. Hell yeah, I'll be praising the fuck out of them. I ain't gonna lie, no shame. I'll be like, hell yeah, get that $59.99, y'all. The links below. You can pre-order the controllers right now. But right now it's just as a consumer, nah. I think, but you know what? We talked about this in the last show too. I asked for it. I've always Nintendo, and I'll take a life away for that too. Okay, whatever. So and I asked for it. I've always wanted Nintendo to kind of like be like everyone else because I've always felt Nintendo held back a lot, and they didn't really try to be like the industry. So there's a lot of things that we kind of miss out on with Nintendo. But with the Switch, they've actually kind of embraced a lot of some of the monetary standards of the industry right now with the Switch. And I'm loving it because they're giving us shit. They're giving you everything you want. You want Pokemon? Here, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing it to home console and all that shit. But guess what else comes? DLC for Legend of Zelda. What?
Yes.
What the fuck has Legend of Zelda ever had DLC? Not only that, we're going to lock something behind a paywall. You want the Master Sword? Okay. You got to pay the $19.99 for the fucking Master Trials. And we're not going to just give it to you instantly. We're going to make you pay and still make you work for it just to get the real fucking Master Sword. Not only that, we're going to put a motorcycle in the game. Fuck it. There's no logical reason why Link should be on a goddamn motorcycle, but we're gonna throw one in there. We're gonna make sure it looks cool, and you can fucking run over moblins or whatever the fuck you fighting. It's just and I asked for it, and Nintendo said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna become part of the tentacle in the industry. We're gonna do that money grubbing shit, and we're gonna give you everything, and we're gonna take it." So that's just, I just hate it for it right now. That's what I said. I'm the biggest Nintendo mark, but I just hate it with Nintendo right now because they're turning into PlayStation, and it's like, I want them to be like that, and then I don't. Part of my childhood doesn't, but my adult understanding business me kind of understands. But it's just.
I mean, it's always been them though. It's always been them. I mean, I'm 34 years old. I don't know how old you are, 37. But all right. So, do you not remember paying $72 for Killer Instinct on a cartridge?
I do remember doing that. That's what I'm saying. I do.
And $72 in 1995 was God knows how much money now, right?
That's true, right? Man.
And I know you got was that game. There was no DLC. There was no Game Plus. There was.
I think that was 2 lawns. Well, I mowed 2 lawns. I got like that much money.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and we forget this is that same company. This is the same company that tried to block Blockbuster from renting their games because they weren't. Because they
remember that story.
Because they were. This is who you're dealing with. So, again, it goes all the way back to the Telltale thing. We forget the business aspect of this every time because our hearts get into it, and we're working with our emotions and the characters that we grew up with and the games that we love, and we forgot that these guys are trying to do the money dance around us.
That's true, man. I know, man. Don't put it in perspective for me.
Don't use logic. Please, don't bring any reason to this podcast.
Yeah, don't fucking reason into it. I want pure anarchy.
Let's not be rational here.
No, I totally agree with that, man. I think it's just you got to kind of see it from both sides. You got to be like a fan about it and kind of air your grievances out, and then kind of just really got to take a step back and go, okay, this shit has already been a long time coming. Nintendo, like you said, has already been practicing those money practices. Sony's already there. Hell, Sony went above and beyond. Microsoft. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, Windows is good, but I don't know about Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So, Microsoft has some shit to shift around, but they all do that money dance, like you said, and they all try to fucking any little thing that we can squeeze out of the consumer. We need to do that.
I think too. It's like about squeezing and everything can get out. I think just the way things are headed, and like $60 for 30-year-old, 40-year-old controllers. All the stuff that's happening right now, all the Game Plus and DLC and all the stuff that's being added, everything. I feel like I would not be surprised. And again, I'm not going on anything that I know, or I know nothing.
Here we go.
but let's just say, right? Let's just put things in perspective. On the mobile side of things, both Samsung and Apple dropped $1,000 phones and $1,400 phones this year. I would not be surprised on our next go around. We're looking at like $600-$700 consoles. Not surprising at all.
It's inevitable. Yeah. It's inevitable because you got to get more power. You got to support them 4K TVs.
But I'm thinking margins. Honestly, I'm thinking because they're gonna figure. Well, you know what? If they're willing to pay this much for a phone and do this and pay that much every 2 years or whatever it is, Look at Microsoft experimenting with the whole device payment plan on the Xbox right now. That's just going to free them to just go nuts on the next machine, because they'll be like, hey, listen, it's not $800. No. It's $32.50 per month, and it comes with Xbox Live, baby. And that's it's going to allow for that kind of like framing right, to happen. And I think like that's kind of where we're headed with a lot of this kind of stuff.
Does that? Well, do you think they'll start doing credit shit though too? I mean, like
The Microsoft thing's a credit check.
Is it not a credit check?
No, it is. It's absolutely. It's a credit inquiry. You got to be 18 years old to get that Xbox deal.
Shit! So that does put a lot of people kind of in a situation.
Yeah.
Because like if they do kind of go with like a subsidized Xbox, there's a lot of people that may not be able to get it, not because they don't want it, but shit, the motherfucker got a 500 on their credit score. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be like that same tough conversation that you have like in a cell phone store now. It'll be that same kind of, hey, listen, man, I know you really want this 10S Max 512 gigs. You just got to put down $900 in your kidney, and I got you.
Could you imagine going to the store?
$900 in your kidney.
Could you imagine the fucking douchebag with the fucking kitty polo, and he comes to you like, hey, you want an Xbox? He's like, here the fuck.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like things are going to be headed kind of like that way. I feel like when Nintendo can charge $60 for 25-year-old, 30-year-old controllers, shit's about to get real quick. And I'm telling you, I really don't think it's that much. I don't think we're going to be seeing like that jump that we had from like PS2 to PS3 and Xbox 360 when we made that HD jump.
Mm-hmm.
These are going to be marginal jumps. Look at that RTX thing from NVIDIA, which looks dope, by the way.
Ray tracing shit, dude. It's
that
great.
Looks dope. Like I'm not gonna lie, I saw that and I was do I got like a G to spend right now on a video card? I'm looking at like a pile of sneakers I want to sell. I'm like, I can sell some sneakers.
I tried to sell my kidney. I was like,
it looked really good. So then when I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, but the jump wasn't that jump that we had. And I feel like the baseline on whatever those next systems is probably going to be like a 1070, like whatever is equivalent to like a 1070, 1080 right now. That'll be like what the next gen systems are going to be, but they're going to be stupid expensive.
That's true.
I can see it. Especially since look at another thing that Nintendo does, where they have their freaking cardboard kits. They're like $80. People are spending $60 to $80 on freaking cardboard cutouts. Cardboard cutouts, man. And people are buying it.
I will say though, if my kids are any indication, they'll leave a room full of toys and play with 2 empty boxes for like 3 hours. So genius, pure genius.
You just about to support Nintendo with that shit? Is that what's happening?
I don't know.
We know Danny bought one also.
Joe got this shit on. He's got the mech suit. He's got the fucking gyro crawlers. I already know, man.
I'm basically turning into cardboard Optimus Prime. Like
he's like, oh shit, he's on camera with this shit.
What a joke.
He said out there, Autobots, roll out.
Then also you just hear.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So, but like I said, people watching, we're not, look, I'm a huge fan. I know Joe's a fan. I'm a huge fan of Nintendo. It's just that you just can't ignore some of the shit, and as somebody who does support them and pays money to the company for some of their products, sometimes you have to air out some of your grievances and shit. Sometimes you have to air them out because you got to call them out on their shit, so, hey, that's not, as a consumer, I'm not supporting it. And I feel like you should make another decision outside of this one. But no, we're not haters.
But as gaming consumers, we complain that we're not going to support it, but then we do.
That's
Mike, guys like Big Mike. They're the problem.
The gamers today bitch about how expensive shit is, but then we'll go and buy like 2 or 3 of the same thing we just bitched about. So,
pre-ordered PlayStation Classic. Are you fucking serious, man? You pre-ordered PlayStation Classic, dude. You had it already. You had a PlayStation 1 already. What the fuck, Mike, man? Like
I literally still own my PS1, and I still have the copy of Legend of Dragoon. I don't need that shit.
You know what you should do, Terry? You should put it on eBay and make a small photo of it and say, look, I got a PlayStation Classic early and sell it for like $1,000, right? And then just, when they finally get the shipment and they see it's a regular old fucking...
And that's so... Oh, no, I can't. That's so fraudulent.
No, when it shows up, be like, I sent you a PlayStation Classic. This is exactly what you ordered.
It's a PlayStation Classic.
So I should just say classic PlayStation. Put the words in the right order. People aren't going to click this way. I'm not lying.
No, say PlayStation Classic, because if you put Classic PlayStation, it's more descriptory. If you just say...
Yeah, well, the other way is fraudulent, dude.
We're talking about a crime right here.
No.
Right. All you guys should lose points for that shit.
Episode 93, how to commit PayPal fraud.
Let's stop. Hold on, I'll take it. Yeah, all right. No PayPal fraud.
And you're giving all those damn scalpers online ideas. Stop it.
Don't listen to me. Yeah,
they're already doing it. They're already doing it. They're going they're literally gonna rush out to all the Salvation Armies and Googles they can find these consoles so they can go and throw them online quick. See what you did?
Fuck. Oh well. If that's how you want to do it. I'm just saying there's a way to get that cash. You can swindle somebody and then you can buy that RTX. Motherfucking 2080. I'm saying, so just this is what you can do. You can get the money on PayPal, then use PayPal to pay for your RTX. Boom. No money seen. It's an instant transaction.
You have to upgrade everything else.
This is getting way too illegal right now.
All of a sudden, Joel's box just like boop, it's just gone and shit.
Shit got real. I just became an accessory.
But no, don't fucking do that shit. Okay, so we're at final round.
We're going to jail together.
But Joel, let me explain what final round is. Final round is your chance to let loose on a grievance that you have with something in the industry. It can be outside of industry, but we would like it to be industry. You get your own minute or so to kind of air it out. We can't interrupt you. We can't say you're wrong. Whatever you say is the gospel. But you have to opt into final round to make the comment. So, you want to opt in or are you out? Because I'm in final round for sure.
Me too.
Oh, you in it too?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I know it's been a while, but I got to get some off my chest.
I don't have anything good this week, so let me get a little more angry, and I come back on the show and unleash. I don't have anything good this week, but I will just say thank you guys for having me on. I'll let you guys do the final round thing. I really appreciate the time that you guys
no problem.
Let's come on. This was a lot of fun. But yeah, go nuts, go ham. I'm gonna dip out. I really appreciate it. Dualshockers.com.
Thank you for coming on, Joel, man. We appreciate it, man. And
Thank you.
Welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right, take it easy. All right, so here we go. Final.
You want to go first, or you want me to go?
I can go first. Nintendo. Like I was saying earlier, fuck you. I just don't understand this dynamic with these NES controllers. It's like you had the best fucking idea, and then y'all had a meeting to find out how to fuck it up. Like really, like I mean, NES classic controllers wireless for the Switch sounds like a fucking dream. Like it writes its own fucking success. But when you hear the logistics of the controllers, it's a nightmare, and I can't see anybody really fucking supporting it if that's where it's bound to. I know I'm not. I'm not buying those fucking controllers. They need to support more than just the online catalog. I've downloaded a few retro games on my Switch, and I think it would be amazing to play it. I mean, not Castlevania, but Bloodstained. is a prime example where the NES controller would definitely profit on that. You know, to say that, you know, you could play all these indie style retro games using the NES controller would have been an instantly better thing than what was announced. And I'm fucking shitty. Fuck you, Nintendo. I just cannot believe you pulled this bullshit. But whatever. All right. It's on you.
All right. For me, it's about a particular somebody, aka Big Mike.
Oh shit.
I hear you talk about all these pre-orders, all this shit you're already dumping money into. But what's up with that fucking contest with the Spider-Man game, yo? You talking about paying this shit off, but where's the contest? Have you done anything lately to update it? Have you let anybody know? You talking about dumping money, pre-order anything else, but shit, let us know what's up. I'm pretty sure people want to, have a free copy of that game. I'm just saying, not unless I'm missing something.
You are
missing something.
You're totally missing out, dude.
He
really should just lose a life on his final round because
no,
you're gonna lose a life, dude.
No. With the rules apply to final round. You're not wrong.
So Terry also loses life.
I don't care if I lose a damn life. I mean, his final round is saying Mike hasn't done anything on the giveaway when 1, Mike announced it all over social media. 2, I fucking live streamed the goddamn drawing. Alright? So, yeah, you lose a damn life, son.
I'm not wrong.
So Terry is right, but she lost a life because she said
it's a life well lost. I don't give a shit.
So Terry is at 3. I'm taking another one for Platinum because he dedicated a final round to a false narrative. Oh shit! But I'm taking another one from Big Mike because his dancing skill fucking. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so what am I missing on this fucking contest now?
Dude, you missed it, man. It was streamed on our channel. It was also shared on Twitter and Facebook and fucking every goddamn where. Glee was notified, as well as the person commented on the video and was hype about winning. So the shit already happened.
I don't know where I was when that happened.
We literally even discussed it in our private chat, dude. Where have you? What are you doing, yo?
I don't have notifications turned on, so that way my shit won't get blowed up. So it's hard for me to chime in and keep up with the conversation.
I'm sorry, Platinum. That was hilarious, though, man.
I know.
That's all good, man. Much love to you, Platinum. I still love you, man.
But what I do respect, Platinum, is that you care about our viewers and you want to make sure that they get the shit that they deserve.
Right.
So I feel you on that. So I definitely respect you for that, and I'll even give you a life back because I support that. You know what I'm saying?
You can ask Danny and Terry. As soon as I got that PlayStation, I was like, look, we're going to do the contest right now.
He instantly went to Gleam, and then Terry did the live stream through Gleam.
Right.
He did it instantly, so it was an instant thing. So once it was possession, it definitely the winner was announced, and I do want to shout out the winner. The winner is Dan B. Yeah. Shouts out to him. He's won himself a copy of Spider-Man. I think he said he was broke as fuck too, and he needed a copy. So I think that was a super come through to him. So he's super hyped. So shouts out to fucking Dan B, man. You won, man. You won. Spider-Man.
Hold on. Before we cut it, I want Platinum to give him that woo feeling. Like, give me a whole Dan B, you won Spider-Man. Woo! Give that energy.
All right. Dan B, you just won a free copy of Spider-Man on PS4. Woo!
There you go.
Oh, he's got his life back.
See?
There we go.
You got 2 lives back. See, you lost 2, but you gained 2.
Shit, let me see what's up in Daniel A. Who's Daniel A? Is that Daniel B or Daniel A?
I'm not for sure who that is.
Man, shouts out Daniel A, Mr. Pizza, John, Scott from Dualshockers. Shouts out to Dualshockers and Scott. Loki and Daddy O.
John Erickson.
John Erickson, what's up, John, man? Alucard, shouts out to Alucard, yeah, man. Yeah, Alucard watched it too. He was in the live stream when it was announced. So that's just hilarious. He called.
That was good. I did like that.
Yeah, that was good though. Like I said, he cared. That was good.
He does.
I appreciate it. So I guess that's it. Like I said, you can catch us. You can log in YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, fucking Tinder, wherever you can log into. Just don't swipe us left. You know what I'm saying? Put a heart on our picture and follow. We usually go live around 1 o'clock on Saturday. I probably stream something tonight. I don't know. I've been trying to get back into playing the game because I've been so depressed. But I think today I'm gonna kind of just play a game tonight. So I'm gonna get that game that Big Mike sent me. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that, and then I may stream some. It's called Dead. Wait, hold on. What is that shit called? Dead Frontier. It's like a zombie MMO. So I think I may do those two tonight. So I'll do those. I think Terry, did you say you were streaming tonight, or you want to jump on Dead Frontier?
I have another podcast after this one.
I know you got Beauty Gamers, but I mean after that, like on your free time.
My free time, I don't have no stream now.
All right, so then why don't you get Dead Frontier, and it's free to play. It's on Steam, and then let's meet up in Dead Frontier.
All right.
help me ease my depression. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I want to just announce this, everybody, because we were giving Danny shit about the Call of Duty last week. Well, he asked me to get the demo and play with him because he needed someone to group up with. All right, and I told him I would do it as a favor to him, but I am not gonna get the game. All right, and I'm just letting everybody know after playing that game, I have even more solidified I am not getting that piece of shit. All right, literally, that game was horrible. It was boring as piss. We just sat there and waited and waited and waited. And it's typical battle royale, boring bullshit. No.
But you just gotta play it.
No, I don't gotta play that shit. No, Activision is not getting my money. They can go fuck off. All right, I'm not buying that piece of shit. All right, no.
Feeling it. She was like, "Fuck this."
No, literally after he got his little game time in and he was happy, I deleted that piece of shit.
And I loved it still. I that is an amazing BR, and I think Blackout will just literally erase PUBG. PUBG cannot fuck with Blackout, period. But it probably can't fuck with Fortnite. But PUBG has no chance when Blackout comes out, and I guarantee it. So all right, and you, as you can tell, with that beta time, it was in the top 3. Actually, it made it to 1 the next day. It was top streamed game. So, and Fortnite.
Have you tried out Dying Light's Battle Royale yet? It's Steam Early Access.
I heard
it. You know what? I'm with you, Platinum. Battle Royale is not for me. I don't find it fun. I do not find it fun. But you know what? Everybody has the game modes they like. Just like people like that, King of the Hill shit. I hate that too.
And I love Dying Light, man. It's just why
I get it. I gave my stand on it last week about how it's a game mode, and
next week
you like it played. If you don't, you don't. But people.
Next week we'll talk about Devil May Cry 5 and his new implementation of multiplayer. That should be fucking awesome.
Which will probably have BR.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's probably gonna have BR.
You want
If they're adding multiplayer, you know they're adding BR mode. You know it.
I don't want to see no fucking Devil May Cry BR. Period.
That sounds stupid.
That sounds dumb as fuck. It's like
you know it's gonna happen. Everybody's on that hype train. It's all about BR this, BR that. And
I can see a No Man's Sky BR. Definitely can see a No Man's Sky. You drop 500 people on a planet, and you just fucking let them kill each other.
500 people? That's
a lot. That's a lot.
Here's the thing, though. The system that they developed in No Man's Sky could handle it. You could drop 500 people in it.
No. I don't know,
the
man.
game, I don't know, man. Like I feel like people with shittier internet, they're gonna be dropping frames so bad, they're not even gonna be able to turn to the left.
It'd be like, God damn, this is 1 frame a second in this bitch.
That's a lot of people doing a lot of things.
Platinum, would you play Friday the 13th Battle Royale if they made it?
I mean, I'm already playing it. I mean, so if they added that, well, I highly doubt it because, I mean, it's the way it is.
Never know. I mean, like I say, yo, we want some of this money.
Like, is it just like...
I mean, I already got the game, so if anything, it would probably be extra free DLC.
True. But I mean, right now, there's like we said.
Well, that's what Fortnite Battle Royale is free DLC.
There's a difference between the game I already have and they added that shit versus the game I don't have.
Right.
And they implement it. I'm like,
So, okay, just tell me now. If, Devil May Cry gets Battle Royale, what are you going to do?
He's going to play it.
I had to get it.
I'm gonna fucking play it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be trash. It's going to be trash.
It's a game mode, So it's like nobody is forced to play the shit.
Well, if there's trophy implemented, I have to play the shit.
Oh,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Tomb Raider.
They'll have a freaking trophy in there where you have to get #1 and Battle Royale 5 times in a row.
Oh, I'll make it happen. In a row?
In a row.
It'll be scary.
You gotta get 5 #1s in a row.
You can make it happen.
I can make it happen. If they ever do that. If they ever do that.
They fucking had shit like that for Mortal Kombat. You had to go online. You had to win, I think, 10 online in a fucking row?
Yeah.
10 in a row? Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard, man. I couldn't get 10 in a row.
You gotta boost that shit.
I got 5 in a row, and then I would always lose one.
You gotta get good. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, no, I'm foreseeing it. You're gonna start seeing those trophies. You gotta get those, #1s. I don't know what they're gonna call it because chicken dinner I think is synonymous for only one game, so you can't really say that.
PS4.
Ugh.
Yeah, chicken dinner's for PUBG.
For PUBG,
do you have a PS4, Terry?
Yeah, I have a PS4.
I said, do you have it on PS4, Mortal Kombat?
No, it's on Xbox.
Well, it's on sale right now for $9.99.
I'm not buying it again, man.
Terry buying that shit.
I'm not into fighters that much. Like I play them, but I don't really want to buy fighters anymore because I will play it for maybe 1 to 2 weeks and then I'm over it. So it's just I'm not getting my money's worth out of it. And I almost never buy any of the DLC added characters anyway, so it's just not worth it.
Okay.
All right.
I traded my copy in. I'm sorry there, Platinum.
You what?
I traded my copy in last week. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the show. Like I said, you can follow us everywhere. Shouts out to Cool Cat Terry. Shouts out to Platinum Godfather. Big Mike. Big shout out to Joel from Dualshockers. Thank you for coming through, sir, and blessing us with your presence. You didn't lose all your lives, so I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. But check us out.
From now on, that's what you call me. From now on, that's what you call me, the voice of the advocate of Dualshockers.
I won't go away again.
That one right now. I don't know what the fuck. Who he says he is. He's actually the voice of TMZ.Z.
How big is your ego right now to think that you're the advocate and the voice of the voiceless?
I am. I'm the voice of the voiceless.
One thing I did want to touch base on one thing before we go, and I say it's political, but is kind of nasty as fuck, and I just wanted to talk about. I didn't want to really talk about it, but I kind
Is it about Donald Trump and his toadstool?
Yes. They said Donald Trump's dick looked like Toad from fucking Mario Kart. So there's an image for you every time you play Mario Kart. When you pick Toad, you're playing with Donald Trump's dick. All right, we are out. Thank you guys for watching. Catch us next week. Peace out, everybody. We will see you later.
Take care, everyone.